Welcome back to another tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to do speed ramping along with adding in buttery smooth motion blur. We'll be adding in motion blur using Fusion, and even if you're a complete beginner, it's going to be super easy and simple for you to understand. And the coolest part is you'll only have to create this effect once, and then you can use it in all of the projects in which you're doing speed ramping. So let's create our first speed ramp. This is a clip. It's a drone shot moving towards a building, and it's quite slow, but I would like to speed up all of this section up until here, and then I would like to slow it down, and then probably at the end I would also like to speed it up. There's another clip that we have. This is also a drone shot, and I would like to speed up that drone shot up until here, and then go to the normal speed. Whenever we are doing speed ramping, we should make sure that any shakes or, non-consistent movements in the shot should be removed, because they're not going to look good in speed ramps. So I would like to start it off from here where the camera gets stable, right here. And let's find out the point where we want to slow it down. So I would probably like to slow it down right here. You can select the clip, right click, and select retime controls. You can alternatively press Command R to turn on the retime controls. Once you have the retime controls, this is where you can change the speed. I would open up this drop down menu and I would just select add speed point at that point. Now, this is the section that I want to speed up, and that's the section which I want to keep in the same speed. This cursor allows you to change the in and out points of the clip, and this cursor allows you to change the speed of the clip. So I would like to drastically change the speed of the clip since the movement is happening quite slow. So I'll just hold it up from here and then I'll drag it somewhere around here. Let's see. I would like to go to around 3000, somewhere like this. Now, if I play it, it's not playing back real time, and you can see that right here due to a lot of effects, especially in color and color grading applied to it. That's why it's not playing back smoothly. So the best thing that you can do is you can go to your playback, render cache, and turn it to smart. Now, mine is already on smart, but even then it's not giving me any render cache up over there. If that is the case with your footage, just right click on the clip and do render cache color output. This way, it's going to start rendering that section out. So let's have a look at this now. Okay, that looks fine. I would like to keep it like that up until here. And then I would like to speed up the rest of the section. So I'll just go to the other drop-down menu, add another speed point, and let's see up until where we get a nice movement. So around here, we get a nice movement. I'll just trim the clip up until there. Then I'll go to that same speed change cursor, and we'll just speed that up quite a bit now. Now I would like to go to the next clip. You can also see that this is a track in movement. So I would like to start off where the clip actually starts moving. So somewhere around here. And I would like to, end it up right here. So we'll select Command R, go to the drop down menu, add another speed point, and make this one go really, really fast. Now we'll just join these two together. And I would like to really increase the speed on that one. Something like that. Okay, we can probably go a little more, and then we can just join these two clips together. Something like this. And now we'd like to smooth out those curves. You see, it's very abrupt. So we'll select the clip, we'll go into our keyframe sections on the top. We can simply go to the keyframe curves to see the speed curves. Now the thing is, if you're not able to see your speed curves, that's probably because your retime speed curve is turned off right here. So you need to turn that on. And I would also not like to see any other curves over there. That's why I'll just turn off all of these curves apart from the retime speed curve. And now you can see, we can see the retime speed curves. Now I would like to select that right here, and I would like to go up over here and I'll select ease in and out. I'll select my keyframe, ease in and out, and it will smoothen out that thing. Now we can even smoothen that out by holding these handles at the corner, and we can, make that go really, really smooth like that. So you see now the movement is quite smooth and it stops down smoothly. Now What we can also do is we can play around with one side of the speed. So let's say we don't want to make that smooth from both the sides. We just want to make it smooth from this side. We can hold shift and then we can hold one corner, and that can allow us to, smooth that out from one side rather than the other one. Let's go to this keyframe. I would like to ease in and out, smooth that out quite a bit. Go to this one, select the other clip, ease in and out, and I would like to smooth that out as well. But the only thing we are missing right now is the motion blur. You see, there's no motion blur in there when it is moving fast. If we could have motion blur in there, it would look really amazing. And we're going to add in motion blur in a bit. Before that, let me just explain you about these handles in another clip after this. So we'll go forward. I have this clip in the timeline, and you see it takes a full turn. So I would like to play it right up until here, and then I would like to speed it up and go to the other side. So add speed point, go to the other side where up until where we want to speed it up, right up until here, add speed point, and then I would like to speed up that section. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to move that quite a bit, something like this. So it plays and then speeds up, and it's very abrupt right now, right? Another thing, apart from seeing the keyframe curves over here, you can also have keyframe curves under the clip right here by pressing this keyframes button, and then we can press keyframe curves. And once the clip is selected, we can see the keyframe curves right over there. But we're not able to see them because our retime speed curves are turned off. So once they're turned on, you can see them right there. Now let me make that a little bigger. Now, what I would like to do is that I would like to smooth out this section, and then I would like to smooth out this section and not the inner section. Why? Because I want it to be really fast in the middle. So I'll select both of them. I'll do ease in and out. You could either do that over here or over here. And then I would like to press shift, hold shift, and then drag that out quite a bit. Hold this, shift, and drag this out quite a bit, so that it is really, really smooth on both the sides. And now let's have a look at that. And now let's add in motion blur on our clips. Let's start off with this part. I would like to go into effects and then go into effects again and drag and drop an adjustment clip. I would like to keep that adjustment clip right over the place where we are doing speed ramps, somewhere around here. Now our playhead is on top of that adjustment clip, and we'll just simply go over to Fusion. Now in Fusion, I would like to add in two very simple nodes. The first one, we select media in one, we press shift space bar, and we type in optical flow. Just add that right there. After optical flow, we can press shift space bar and we can type in vector motion blur. Select vector motion blur, add that. Now that's the combination that we'll need to add, and you can, right now start to see that the motion blur is there. Now at this point, you can also tweak the settings in the optical flow, and you can make that more smoother, or you can even go to vector motion blur and play around with the scale to make the motion blur look more intense. But for me, I feel like even the default settings with optical flow and vector motion blur just work amazing. Now this is a very heavy effect on system, and this might take a little time to render. After our speed ramp ends over here, because we were doing smoothing, that's why I've kept that a little longer in the adjustment clip. I would also like to, add in a bit of fader towards the end and a little bit of a fader from the start also. So see, we get that silky smooth motion blur between these clips. It looks very interesting. Now we want to copy and paste that right here also. So just do Command C, just paste that right here, Command V. We don't need a fader on this one, and we want to end it right here. Again, for the other clip, Command C, and just paste it wherever your speed round's happening. Now this was a quite long speed ramp that we were adding. That's why I would like to keep that a little longer. Something like that and something like this. All right, now saving this adjustment clip for future use. you can go to your media pool, and in there you can go into power bins. You can enable power bins. If you don't have them enabled, you can just go up over here to these three dots and you can select show power bins. Now anything that you save in your power bins are going to be available to you in all of the projects that you have. Now, one of the things with the adjustment clips is that you, as far as I know, you cannot rename them. So, just to remember that this adjustment clip is for motion blur, I would create a new bin in my power bins. I'll call that motion blur. And I'll just drag this adjustment clip into the motion blur section. Now, in any project that I want to use it, I'll just drag and drop this adjustment clip and my motion blur is going to be added there. Now, because this motion blur is a very heavy effect on system, what you can do is that if you have a lot of speed ramps in your video, you can just disable them, select them, press D to disable them, and keep working on your videos. And once you're ready to export it out, just enable them and, get the final output. I hope this comprehensive tutorial was helpful for you to understand speed ramping along with motion blur. Don't forget to hit that like button, drop me a comment down below, and consider subscribing. See you in the next video.